So, following last year's tradition or the tradition of the board before us, and also as a chair, I wanted to start our year off on the right foot. Fortunately, we were able to travel, so we went on a weekend trip prior to the academic year, prior to our board year, with no classes yet in the summer. Because going in, I really only knew one person, or I knew all of them, but I was really only friends with one person. But during that car ride home from that weekend, I felt like I had four new crazy siblings, and as an only child, that's kind of a shock. But yeah, this energy continued throughout our board year. We grew closer, and by the end, I feel like we could basically govern a tiny country with how well we worked together. We still talk on a weekly or daily basis, and that weekend trip we still do every year. It's become our tradition. So it's a really fun way to get to know people through a board year. It worked really well for us. And it's scary in the beginning because you're like, I'm gonna have to deal with these people for an entire year. But it worked out really well. If you put in the effort, it's really fun. And you hopefully stay friends for life? Question mark. I hope so.
Amazing. Just that sums it all up. Amazing, so much fun. They've become some of my closest friends during the year and even after as well. I really cherish this experience for the rest of my life, and I think that we can always just talk to each other as if nothing ever changed in the world, and I think it's just so great. In the beginning, you'll just have to have a lot to learn about each other, which is totally fine. That's what you have to do during the year as well. But yeah, in the beginning, it's a little like, hey, how are you? You have to, well, see what kinds of people they are, and that's totally okay in the beginning. And during the year, you just spend so much time together, and you'll become the best of friends. And doing a board year together with 3 or 4 other people, it just enriches your life, but also theirs. And yeah, you just become a small family.
Well, I think that, with everyone that you don't really know that well yet, it takes some time to get to know each other and kind of get to know what everyone's expectations are for their board year. But as the question already states, you work so closely with these people and you get to see them so many times a day, really, that it only, is a matter of time before a group of strangers become people quite dear to you.
That's such a funny question, because looking back on it, I never really consider the people that I work with as people who I didn't really know too well, because I think it took only the first 2 days that we met for us to really kind of cling together as a group. And in my board year, we did ran into some difficulties. There were some struggles along the way, but even now when I look back on it, I still have some people that I met during the board year that I consider as my closest friends. And I went on vacations with them even after we've quit the board. So, it's kind of weird to say people you don't know too well, because I think I know them very well at this point, and that's one of the most amazing things about the board, in my opinion.
And I guess our board was kind of an exception to that, because we already knew each other. I knew 2 of my board members who were in the same year as I was, and 2 others were a year above us, and we were actually already friends. We didn't see each other, outside of our studies like every week, but we saw each other fairly often, and we really, really developed an amazing bond of friendship. We still go on our board trip with the 5 of us every year. We've done that 3 times now. So I'm not really one to judge, or I'm not really sure how it is to work together with people you don't already know, because I already knew those people, and it was amazing.
Well, if you're talking about fellow board members that you do not know from the start very well, I was fortunate to know except one of my board members I knew before, so that helped. We weren't the best of friends before that, but we definitely knew each other. And then when you go into it, I think it's really important to talk about your rules together. Like, how are we going to step into this board year? What are the roles, and how do we feel about those roles? And when you have a good working relationship with each other, do some nice things together, like some dinner, go to a pub, stuff like that. I think it really helps that bond develop, and also being honest with each other when there's like irritation between each other, which is of course possible. Just being honest about that, I think, really goes a long way. I think another tip would be make sure that like fun activities are scheduled in outside of the activities you have as a board. So, for example, don't have a dinner and then a board meeting afterwards. Just have a board meeting on a separate day, then you have your dinner, just to make sure that the fun activities and the friendship activities are also separated from the business side of things, just to make sure that the relationship stays healthy.
I really liked it because at the beginning you get sort of worried, will we work together, what if there's something wrong maybe, but I really enjoyed working together like this because I feel like we all became friends and close friends as well. And if you work together this closely, you share stories, you become closer, but it truly feels like it is becoming like friends with each other. So I was worried at first, but in the end it was more than fine. I still see some of my board here and I still really like those people. So I'd say don't worry about that.
And this part is just because I want to encourage people to join the board. In general, my board year, well, even though it was cut short by Corona at the end, I had a great time. I met some wonderful people. I still have contact with some of those people I met during my board year, even in Corona times. I think the association EPU is a great association to do a board year for. It's personal. You get to know your members very well. We have some fun activities. It remains a part-time board, so it's not like it's your full-time job, even though it might feel like that sometimes. I just encourage, if you're thinking of doing a board year, please consider doing it for EPU, because it's an association that's thankful for your work as being a board member, and it's one of the most fun years I had, I think, ever.
I guess overall, a board year really helped me develop certain skills and also taught me a lot about myself, which is, I guess, sort of valuable. So I would definitely really recommend everybody and anybody to apply for a board year, because it's so much fun and it's really I guess a once in a lifetime experience. So go for it. It's awesome.
And I really advise everyone to do a board year, especially with EPU, because EPU is just, well, we're the best. Just, it's true. Don't let anybody ever tell you differently. So please sign up and apply for being in the next board of EPU. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
And to sign up,